Welcome back everybody to another video. In this one we're going to be looking at BTTS for this Saturday, so I'm going to post this Saturday morning. If you're watching it then you can follow along and see if you can find some of these games. Now for BTTS, if you've been following the channel for a while, you'll know that I do sort of lean more on the away team being able to score. Both teams have got to be capable of scoring, of course, but the away team, I want them to be in good form. I want them to be maybe higher in the league than the home team. So they're the type of games we're looking at, but of course the home team can certainly handle themselves. So now that we have that picture in our mind of the teams and the situation, how do we translate that into rules? Well, the first thing I'll do is say that both teams have picked up 1.2 points per game across all games, and we'll save that for both. And then for the away team, we know that these teams have played at least 10 games, so we can then go in and say, okay, tell me, or rather show me, away teams that have scored in at least 8 of the last 10 games, so 80%, and we save that for the away team. This is all games, so they're in good goal scoring form, home and away. And then we can also lean on the probability model at OddAlerts. Let's set this to a sort of maybe conservative 40%. And then the rule for the home team, well, let's give them a PPG that is slightly better than their average. So let's say 1.4 points per game. We put 1.2 for overall, if you remember at the start. So you can see the list of rules is growing. I do like to try and keep things simple, but we will add one more rule for the home team, which is a rule around their goal scoring ability. And we will say that they've scored in at least 75% of home games. So a lot of rules. Let's just hit search and see what we get, and then we can adjust. Some of the things that you might want to add is maybe goals conceded percentage for the home team. You might want to add the average goals per game, 3 or more goals per game on average. You can add that for both teams, but we'll hit search. And we get some games here. We've got some games in play at the moment. BTTS here at 56 minutes, 52 minutes played in this game. Will be interesting to see how that one ends. I think that home team, though, looking at their PPG 2.44, they are a pretty good side. Let's take a quick look at this one, just because it is an in-play game. It might be worth something to you if you can see my thought process, how you might approach it when you do see a live game. The first thing that I notice is that the away team has won just 25% of games. So some of the rules we put in did ensure that they are at least scoring goals. If you look at the away form, they've scored in every game that they've played away from home. They beat 6th place 6-0 a couple of weeks ago. They are unbeaten in 4 games, but just from that glance at the home team before, I think they're pretty superior in terms of the league table. If we look at the points, 27 points after 16 games for the away team, 39. So there is a bit of a gap, you would say, between the top sort of 3 teams. Tigres there at the top, 44 points after 17 games is pretty good going, isn't it? 2.59 points per game, and Guadalajara 2.44 points. So I would leave this one. There's just been a red card. I don't know if you saw that update there. There's just been a red card in this game, so I would just definitely leave it now, maybe, especially if it's for the away team. So on to today's fixtures. You'll notice it's sorted by time. That's why we get the live games first. We've got games from China. We've got quite a few games, haven't we, to be fair, that match those data points that we put in before. If you hit 3 on your keyboard, then you can actually see the games that do have odds for BTTS. So 1.57 here, 1.67. You could just create, sometimes, doubles. I don't recommend putting massive accumulators on ever. I never recommend multiples. Doubles is sort of my maximum. I just try and get over evens because I still believe that, filters like this can be incredibly valuable as long as you're still disciplined and you have a system. And one of the systems might be, double chance and overput 1.5 goals. That's another sort of market that you could go for within a single game. If you've got a pretty strong away team, usually you can see some odds here for the away teams. You've got 3-1 there. It's first against third. Could that be a 1-1 draw? Absolutely, it could. You'd have to dig deeper into the game, but that's my thought process sometimes when I'm creating a filter like this. So this has returned quite a lot of games, hasn't it? Quite surprising given the number of rules. Can we then bump up the BTTS percentage? Let's lean on the probability model. We will add this to 60 and let's sort by that BTTS probability model outcome. and we can see that that game from New Zealand is right near the top. It's 3-2 after 59 minutes. This was 1.5 at the start of the game. Well, sorry, that was the peak 1.5 because it's showing us the live odds there. Yeah, so this is a great reason, really. 1.5, I wouldn't have personally taken it, but this is a good example of how the odds are not available sometimes. It's 4-2 now. As we talk, it's gone to 4-2. This will update in a second. There we go. And yeah, it wasn't available BTTS. It becomes available. There are so many leagues as we go through these fixtures here where you see not available here for BTTS. That means it is more than likely going to become available in the Oberliga, especially the women's leagues. It's actually available here, and you can set alerts on any of these. You could maybe, as I say, create a double or something. I do want to stress the point though, don't be putting on 4, 5, 6, 7 folds. I know it's a Saturday, people like to do it, but you just wasting money most of the time. I used to do it, I'll just scroll through these games so you can see. I'll toggle the probability model for you. Yeah, large multiples and stuff, you're just playing into their hands. They love people like you that spend 20, 30 quid or whatever on a Saturday. And, if it's for fun, that's fine. But if you just treat it a little bit differently, you can still have fun and make money, right? So why wouldn't you want to do that? Which of these games do you fancy today for BTTS? There is a good collection of games there. Not as many though. See, we get the end of the feed here. So how many games would you say that is? Maybe I can add a tally. Not that many actually. Maybe about 40 games here for Saturday. I tell you what I will do. I'll share this list right now. Call it Joe's BTTS. Not sure if you can see that overlay. And when you see this video, wherever you're watching it, in the description, or if it's on Twitter, it'll be, just in the post. Click this and you will see all of these games, and take a look and let us all know what you think.